Mike Gibbs.
Thank you, Mr Davis. I'm really pleased that the Whips have put me on this statutory instrument, so it gives me an opportunity to ask some important questions which do need to be answered. Given the scandal over Cambridge Analytica, given the appalling behaviour of Facebook, and given the way in which data and information, including information of this House of Commons, was stolen and then sold to the Daily Telegraph a few years ago, how confident can we be about the processes here and the transferring of this data and personal information? The draft research code of practice for accreditation criteria says that this information will go to various organisations that would be allowed to process it, to use it. Many of those organisations will get commercial benefit from that. Is the state going to be receiving any income as a result of the commercial exploitation of personal data, which when it was acquired, was not acquired for the benefit of a commercial company, but was acquired for fulfilling a function within our health or education system or our general governance of our society? Why should private companies benefit without the individuals themselves who presumably own that data, or the government departments which collected that data being beneficiaries of that income?
On that point, honourable friend, he will know, he may know, that our noble friend Lord Parry brought forward proposals to amend the Data Protection Bill to ensure that the wealth that may arise from the investigation of health records, for example, was actually held in a sovereign data fund. Now, these ideas of sovereign data funds will catch on over the next few years, but at the moment we don't have any provisions to actually capture what is socially produced wealth, i.e. data, and recycle that wealth for the good of the nation.
Mike Gibbs.
I'm grateful for that information. I wasn't aware of that. That adds to my knowledge. The Principle 7 of retention and onward disclosures says that the data will be retained and pre-processed data for a limited time, but that can then be extended. It's not clear how often it can be extended, whether there could be indefinite extensions. I would like some idea as if at those extension points a premium would be charged to the organisations which were retaining that data for continuing to use it for years to come. The various documentation here is copious, and I don't intend to delay the committee unnecessarily, but I have one other question which relates to the statistics statement of principles. We have many organisations that collect this form of data. Every time I go into Sainsbury's or Tesco's and pay with my card, they seem to have collected information about what I've bought. And then when they send me their points, they send me vouchers for buying things which I normally buy, as though to encourage me to go back to their store with that data. Now, that data is very interesting and useful, no doubt, and could be useful to the government. If we are having a position where we are saying that bodies, institutions which are part of the government, the public sector organisations, make data available to the Statistics Authority, why should not we have an obligation on private sector organisations and commercial companies and retailers and to actually make that data available. It would be very interesting. We could, for example, the Department of Health, if it was be able to analyse the consumption patterns of a cohort of people by age, by location, and then we might be able to better target our anti-obesity initiatives for healthy eating, and make a judgment about the size of packets, or whether the orders of a particular kind of product would be useful for the data within the Department of Health. I'm not clear from this whether these obligations do apply to the private sector. It seems not, from reading it superficially. And I would be grateful to know if there's any planning to think about, really, if we're going to have joined up government. On the one hand, we've got private sector organisations able to exploit public data, but surely the public sector should be able to make use, for the benefit of the citizens as a whole, for the public good, because data will be increasingly a public good. And whether it is held by the government or whether it is held by private companies or individuals, that data could be important to raising the quality of health, extending life expectancy, giving people a better life chances, if it was made available in a timely manner, as my friend points out, to government when it's making decisions. So I do hope the Minister will address these points. Thank you, sir.